This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you in part by Telex, the interconnection company, owners and operators of 56 Marietta, the most network-rich co-location facility in the Southeast. Tag TV and Tag Radio. Technology now has a voice of innovation and information. Get it on www.tagtvonline.com. A local startup has PayPal in its crosshairs, and VCs are willing to fund the combat between the two companies with $4 million in funding. That's right, Moneta, an Atlanta-based startup, says it'll challenge PayPal for online payment service supremacy and close the multi-million-dollar funding to do it earlier this month. In 2007, Moneta purchased the retail payments product from CheckFree, a system that transfers money directly from the buyer's checking account to merchants with lower fees than by charge card. Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, September 29, 2009, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. Moneta readies for combat with PayPal as we Tech Talk with the startup CEO, Guido Sacchi. Dr. Sacchi was the former CIO and Senior Vice President for CompuCredit, where he was responsible for setting and executing the company's IT strategies, managing innovation, and running the company's worldwide IT operations. He's also worked at the executive level to align IT and business performance, including senior positions at Deloitte Consulting and PricewaterhouseCoopers. More than 18 years of international experience across industries, and holds degrees in engineering from the University of Rome, Italy, and appointments at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Guido is a frequent speaker and magazine contributor and is the current chairman of the Georgia CIO Leadership Association. He serves as the TAG board member of directors and is an advisor to early-stage technology companies. Moneta meets PayPal, startup versus reigning champ, as Tino speaks with internationally acclaimed CIO and Moneta's CEO, Guido Sacchi.
Guido, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk.
Glad to be here, Tino.
So you joined a firm called Moneta, and I think the first thing we need to do is for our listening audience, tell us a little bit about what business needs does Moneta address?
Sure. Moneta is an online payments company. Online shoppers can pay with Moneta at participating retailers as a secure, convenient alternative to paying with credit or debit cards. In terms of needs, it addresses a number of business problems in the marketplace. First, for consumers, it provides added security as their information is not shared with retailers online. Second, for online merchants, it provides lower costs and additional sales. And finally, for banks, it generates revenues and a strategic presence in the alternative payments marketplace.
And do you have a target in the early stages here? Do you have a particular strategy without giving everything away that you're focused on?
Sure. We are partnering with banks and also are looking to attract retailers to partner with us to accept Moneta as a payment method. And so far we have a major bank that is partnering with us to offer this product to their customers, as well as 10-plus major retailers, including airlines and Internet 500 online merchants.
Well, excellent. Well, your own background, many of our listeners are going to know you as the big company CIO, and you made what probably many would like to try, but you made a significant shift in moving from that role to early stage CEO. How's that transition been?
Well, frankly, it's not an easy transition. So generally speaking, one has to accept a number of things that are different, right? So the first one that comes to mind, and maybe that's the elephant in the room, if you will, certainly in my room, is lower salaries and lower benefits. It's just a different model.
Right.
There are also lower levels of support, and I really miss my assistant. And finally, there's got to be a willingness to change course very quickly in response to market signals. There's not the luxury of analyzing things too long. But on the other hand, the opportunity to build a successful business, the continuous challenges, the potential payoffs are more than enough to keep me going. One important difference that maybe is not so obvious is the enormous contribution that any individual can make. There are no hiding places in a startup, and everybody's contribution is decisive for the success of the business. Everybody notices if you are having a bad day.
Well, I would imagine that you can make decisions a lot faster in the organization that you're in today than the one you were in prior to this.
Yeah, that's correct, although at CompuCredit we were making decisions very quickly. But yes, the decision-making cycle time is very, very short. Mm-hmm.
So the big news, and it was recently in Atlanta Business Chronicle, is you just closed on a $4 million Series A round, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And
that takes off a lot of pressure.
Yes. And so what were some of the main factors that allowed you to raise that money, particularly in this environment that's so challenging for any kind of fundraising?
Yeah, well, determination and persistence surely were decisive. Other important attributes include maybe some obvious ones, the power of the business idea, the reputation of the people involved, the clarity of the business plan. There might be a couple others that are less obvious factors that stand out. First, the quality of the board, and second, the power to persuade investors that the plan can be executed properly. And it is certainly true that ideas without execution have no value, and so investors must be absolutely sure that the team can execute. And finally, I would say that confidence in your own company's value is also very important. For example, when looking at term sheets, especially in this challenging environment, it is very tempting to give up more of the company in return for precious capital. So confidence in the company's value provides negotiating power, and generally speaking, one always wants to negotiate from a position of strength.
I'm sure many of our listeners, certainly in Georgia, and Guido, you've heard this as much as I have, that it's difficult to raise money in Georgia, or particularly difficult to raise money from Georgia investors. So how was your split? Was it all outside the state, or did you have some state?
No, we had a mix of capital for Series A, so some is coming from Florida, but some other is coming from the state. So it certainly depends on again, the reputation of the team and the strength of the board, but I would say we've been helped by capital in Georgia.
Good. So I know you're a family guy, and and it's probably, I would imagine, given particularly this new role, the balance. People are always interested in the balance between running the business and keeping your family commitments. How have you done that and stayed sane at the same time? Maybe that second part is a separate question from the first part.
It is a separate question, but yeah, it's true that it is a constant balancing act. I'm very fortunate to have a supporting family, and they understand what I've got myself into. Definitely was a family decision to have me take this opportunity. That being said, we had to make significant trade-offs, and I try to maintain my sanity by dedicating time to my wife and children and trying to have fun with them, and also being active in the community and still active in my lifestyle. I do need to shed a couple pounds, though.
You should join the Techie 10K race that's coming
That's right. That's right. I look forward to it. I don't know if I can make 10K, but yeah, that's a great event coming up.
It is. So I have time for one more question. Maybe let's end on what's been your biggest surprise as the CEO so far.
There's been many surprises, but probably the biggest one has been realizing how important the board is really, and how much I had to learn in putting my board members to work. I'm very fortunate. I have a great board, and that includes great business people. entrepreneurs and also mentors, people that really have taken the time to mentor me through my first experience as a CEO. So they've made a huge difference for Moneta so far.
Well, I think we're going to have you come in and speak at a TAG ATDC Entrepreneur Session later on in the year, and hopefully we can capture some of the essence of the important role of a board, because I know a lot of times new companies, either they don't have a board or they bring on a board of just family and friends, and they don't necessarily think about as much as they should what type of people and who they need on the board that are really going to support them as they make the important early decisions that have to be made.
Yeah, absolutely, in terms of help in decision making and introduction and opening doors and help, really sometimes hands-on help with the internal processes of the company, especially in the front office with sales and business development. That's definitely a big help that one can get from the board.
Well, Guido, it's probably not too early to say congratulations on making the big shift, and I wish you the best, and thanks for joining me on Tech Talk today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tino.